What? Okay, this was inspired by a couple of, like, not memes, but like posts that are like of text. You know what I mean? One of them was like, sometimes replying to people overwhelms me. It can be the simplest reply required, but if I'm in an anxious or overstimulated state, then I just don't want to communicate with anyone. And then I feel worse about replying late or appearing antisocial or mean. It's just a vicious cycle. Bitch. And then this one, apologies for the late reply to your email. If it's any consolidation, the haunting guilt of not responding has weighed heavily on my overburdened conscience alongside with the constant shame of failing to complete countless other tasks every day. Bitch. Let's fucking talk about it, shall we? So this has been something I've struggled with for the past few years, pretty much since COVID. I wonder fucking why. And I still struggle with it. And if you haven't noticed in my past few videos, I'm coming out of a pretty intense bout of depression that I'm now trying to manifest my full come-outance. You know what I mean? Like, I'm speaking to existence that it's only up from here. In my head, it's like, I'm up this hill. It's so easy to just start rolling backwards. So I have to make these videos in order to like keep trekking up. I gotta do what I fucking gotta do, right? But what I'm gonna talk about in this video is like how this phenomenon of just not replying is a symptom of depression, anxiety, mental illness, burnout, because I want to reply. We want to reply. We want to maintain our relationships. I genuinely care about my relationships. So of course it feels fucking, absolutely exponentially self-sabotagingly worse because I cannot fucking reply to shit, to anyone, to anything, even the simplest of replies. I can't even reply a K, period. My flight or flight is so fucking intense and sensitive. The moment I get a text notification, I'm like, bye, bitch, I'm flying. Red Bull doesn't give me wings, texts do. But yeah, literally, like, a text is like a cue to go into hiding. I used to yearn for a text notification. Somebody text me, but now it's a trigger. Like, why? It's fucked. It doesn't make sense. But a mentally ill mind does not make sense. And even being aware now, healing to the point that I have, it still doesn't get me to reply. It's the awareness that makes it that much more worse. Because, like, the fact that I still can't get myself to reply, do the bare fucking minimum for the people that I love and care about and who love and care about me, to still not be able to do what is so simple and necessary and at times urgent is what makes the vicious cycle never ending. Shit piles up. You get buried alive, drowning, rotting. It's easy to lose hope. It cues and perpetuates depression, fuels the negative cycles. We've heard it all, been there, done that, Now I know the pandemic had a little something to do with this for obvious reasons. I mean, a worldwide isolation will just do that to you, but I've lost a majority of my friends. I've completely shattered my relationship with my family. I've pushed everyone out of my life for the sake of this safe isolation that I thought was what I needed and what I wanted, but psych, depression. If you're an introvert, okay, isolation is not good for you. And I will make a video about that later because that is something I have to drill into my fucking head because I'm still in denial about it. It is just so tough to accept. I haven't even accepted it. So that note to self will come. But losing all these people, which at the point that I'm at now, I know isn't like lost forever. But as I record this, it doesn't exist. Yeah, you know what I mean? There's a reason why I'm coming here. But because a big part of why all those connections and relationships were lost, it felt like it was because of me. It was because of my fault because I couldn't reply. I couldn't communicate. And of course, that led to self-hate, guilt, and that overwhelmed me. So for me, when I'm depressed, self-hate and guilt are very fucking loud, obviously. And that alone is so overwhelming and heavy. Like in the post that I read earlier, it's so overwhelming that like I'm just crushed by the overwhelm and it paralyzes me. So, sorry. I can't even like let myself breathe and think. I can't even give myself a break from all the thoughts of self-hate and shame and guilt, let alone curate a text to reply. At that point, it was way impossible to pretend that things were okay. That's why I isolated. That's why I hid. So anyway, not replying, not being able to reply, once again, fueled that self-hate and guilt. And so all the fault was on me, or so I thought, I was like, well, of course it's my fault. It's my refusal to be present in the relationships, in life, in society. It's my refusal to participate in life, my refusal to reciprocate, my refusal to like love back and care back. You know, it's all me. It's all because of me. But that's the thing. It wasn't a refusal, because refusal and acceptance, you know, those are choices. This wasn't a choice. You know, it's not that I'm choosing not to reply. Like I said, of course I want to reply. I know I need to. I know I want to. And this goes back to another video I made about, I was talking a little bit about executive dysfunction and how it's just so fucking hard to explain if you haven't experienced it. Because it's like, how do you explain to someone who's able to function normally that you just aren't able to do? Oh my God, I'm like getting an arm workout just by like, oh my, why am I so pent up right now? But that's another thing, is like the more important something is, the more urgent or dire, that pressure paralyzes me. And it's indescribably frustrating, because most of the time, it feels like I can't do shit about it. Meanwhile, everything's going in your head. All the fucking wars, 6 million wars are going through your head, internal battles that you're fighting. And that's why I just sit in paralysis. Too much is going in on here. I'm like, you know? So yeah, it's like the more important it is, the deeper I want to hide. It's instinctual. It's not something I think about. Like I said, it's fight or flight. The moment I get any sort of activity from outside sources or social people from the outside, I'm like, no. I do not exist. How did you find me? So that's why I'm like, I can't really fucking explain it. So if you know, you know. Like, yes, I am capable of tap, 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 send. Technically, I have the motor abilities, but I'm not capable. I can't do it. I'd be capable of connecting the dots in a healthy mind, but I'm most definitely incapable when I'm not in a healthy mind. When I'm in an ill mind, shit's not gonna get done, okay? So of course I thought it was my fault. Sorry. Like I was saying, I was already feeling shitty. I was already feeling so shitty. I already gave up on life, right? And when people you love and care about, who love and care about you so much that they're trying desperately to contact you, to access you, and completely shutting that out, ignoring, like I said, fight or flight, flying away from it, hiding from it, of course that feels even more terrible. Like I was saying, it's like double the shame, double the guilt, double the self-hate, cycle to the point where it's like no return. To the point where I was like, well, yeah, I don't deserve friends. I don't deserve family. I don't deserve anyone. I don't deserve shit. Why would I? I can't even text back. I can't even reply to the few people in my life who actually love and care about me. So why would I deserve love? What do I deserve? Depression. You deserve to rot, is what goes in my head, okay? But luckily, right now, I'm much better. I'm in a much better place. And I am practicing self-forgiveness, which is hard as fuck. But I will make a video on that as well. So if you've related to anything that I've said so far, I know you've been on an apology tour.
I go through hell tour.
Call me a pop star because I'm always on tour. I love to tour.
I love to tour.
But when it comes to like apology tours, right? Once you've done that more than once, more than a couple of times, it gets to a point where it's like, well, what is the point? Everyone knows the drill by now. Everyone's sick of your shit. Everyone's sick of it. Over it. What's the point? Why bother? Why bother? Why bother anyone? And once again, that spiral is spinning. Helicopter. You know what I mean? So let me tell you, and you, by you meaning me in the future, and me in the past, and me now. I'm telling me and you in every multiverse. I'm telling you, and you. It is never too late. It is always worth trying. Let me repeat that. It's never too late. It's never too late. And it's always worth trying. Because at this point, I already know, I'm sure you already know too, that the real ones are the ones who will understand without shit needing to be said at all. They're the ones who are like spiritually connected and they already know. The ones that'll always be there for you no matter how distant or how long you disappeared for. The ones who will force their way in no matter how hard you resist and treat them like an enemy for intruding. It's those people who like seem like the most nuisance because they care so much about you, because you're freaking them out by not replying. And it's just so like, oh God, the spiral is like, I can't even. It's so hard to break out of that spiral. Because of course at that point you don't want to face it. You're like, I've ignored everyone who's loved me for so fucking long. Of course I can't just fucking face them and be like, hi again. Hi, how are you?
Wonderful weather we're having.
You know, so out of sight, out of mind. I can't deal with that right now. I haven't even dealt with myself yet. So it's just piling after piling after piling. Anyway, the thing is about these people who will do the most for you, who will stand by you, who will be there for you no matter what and however you wish them to be, with them, you don't have to beg for forgiveness. And they don't want you to. They'd say that there's nothing to forgive. They'd say that you should forgive yourself first because you need to forgive yourself first. Okay? The apology tour is within yourself. Profound, right? I mean, yeah. Actually, though, because once you're able to forgive yourself, which again, fucking hard, especially for those of us who just never really practiced much of it in life. You know who you are, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of us are so deeply ingrained with expectation and productivity, and obviously that fuels a type of like harshness towards yourself. You become so hard on yourself and so unforgiving on yourself that yeah, it's hard to unlearn that and learn how to forgive yourself, you know? So way easier said than done. But once you're able to forgive yourself, then you can begin healing. And it's within that healing that you can heal your relationships. And of course, once you like go through depression or something similar, the relationships you choose to spend your valuable and limited energy on healing, like those relationships that you're choosing to heal, are probably much smaller, much more few and far between. But it's those relationships that will come out even stronger, even more resilient, and more meaningful, deeper, all of it, all the good stuff. And that's like kind of what life's about. The company you keep, the people you spend your time with, quality of relationships rather than the quantity. So, this note to self was a little, I don't know, felt myself being a little more tense than usual, but I am approaching that time of month, so I'm just like, so yeah, this kind of was truly like a rant. Like I was saying, I'm not quite yet at the point that I am trying to manifest for myself. So like I said, I haven't even gotten to the point of apology tours yet and like healing relationships and whatnot. I'm still struggling on myself. So this was a very literal note to self, because now that I'm a little better, that pain of realizing the people that you've lost, the havoc that you've wreaked, it hits, and it's very tough. And with that comes a lot of fucking emotions that were repressed and detached from, you name it. And then there's an equal amount of regret, which is again another layer of pain that I have to sort of remind myself that it's like, it's so hard for me to wrap my head around it, because it's like, you have nothing to regret. Like, you were just literally incapable and unwell that you couldn't do it. There's nothing, you can't regret being ill, but I can't stop feeling it. So, you know, gotta write that down for my therapist. Baby steps, right? But a lot of the regret is just sort of like thinking back at like all the lost time, because time is like that one resource, you know, the one resource that feels like it's been wasted away. And that's something that was really hard for me to like come to terms with, because like once it's spent. There's no point in beating yourself up about the time that it's spent, because you're not going to get, what's the point? Stop wasting more time. You've already spent that time. Stop spending more time on time that you've already spent, right? But yeah, that's another reason why I was like, I need to make this video for me, because I desperately want to heal those relationships again, and I desperately want to be able to reply and text back and just exist with society again. I mean, I don't know about that part, but like, I definitely want friends again, you know? So I'm gonna promise myself, you promise me too, Come here. I promise to myself that, like I said in every other fucking video, that I will make an effort. And that's why I say in every single fucking video, because it's so hard. But like I just said to you and to myself, it's never too late. And it's always worth trying. And I know I want to, and I know I'm going to, but it's just like that first step that's like so fucking hard. And I'm considering making this video as like a micro step to the first step. So speak it into existence. I think that'll about do it for this video. My mind is reeling too much right now, because doing this video has like really filled my mind with a lot of things. So I'm gonna leave it at that. And with that, you know what time it is. Get your water, bitch. Get it now. It's right there. Just fucking get it. Cheers. Look at me. Thank you for listening. Let me know if that did anything. Let me know if that was at all anything to you. Was that anything to you? You gotta let me know because I really don't know. I'm kind of speaking to the void here. Because yeah, this felt more ranty than it was. Like, I'm like, what did I offer you? Did you get anything from this? Or did you just get secondhand trauma? But you gotta let me know, okay?
Yeah. What?
So yeah, hit me with the ching. Hit me with the ching. So yeah, if you're in a better place than I am, go text the people you love, go call them, go do what you can to keep the relationship up. I'm telling that to myself. But if you're with me in this, we're not alone. We got this. We got this. Small steps, baby steps. So note to self, it's never too late. Say sorry.